Hey, happy Monday. Coming at you with a brand new message today. It's not live because I think it's really important that I not get distracted by the live video for this. So recently I've been coming on a little bit more to Facebook and communicating to people that that some stuff is coming. I've been working with a new mentor, and one of the first things that I'm required to do is to make a video of the things that I stand very strongly for. And what I'm going to do is make sure that this whole video I come from a higher place, because there are things that in our lives we can get angry about. I think the whole key in really living the life that you want and managing your life the way that you want is to really keep the anger at bay and keep yourself in check, so that if there are things that you want to change, that you bring a positive energy to them and a positive mentality. So I'm going to start today really by talking to you about something I feel very strongly about, which is sitting down and shutting up. So my whole life I was told to sit down, shut up, not speak. I can remember from when I was a really young child, we would be playing at the table. We'd be playing Cars, my sisters and I, at the dining room table, and my parents would be watching the TV, and I would always be told, "Debbie, shut up. Debbie, shut the hell up. Debbie, shut up. I'm trying to watch TV." And I didn't think too much about it at the time. I just always thought there was something wrong with me. I'm too loud. So then, further on in my life, I had some situations where I was told to be quiet, to not tell my parents. I had some scenarios in life where some really unquestionable things happened to me and I was told not to tell. So in a lot of my life, I kept a silence. I didn't speak my real truth. And I can remember just even being in the Navy where, in the same year I got 2 letters of commendation, a reprimand, and an internationally broadcast radio story on a plane crash. But it really messed with me, because here I was ridiculously successful in one aspect, but yet all of the higher ups, the superiors, the people that I put in my mind as people in a position of authority, rejected me whenever I would speak my real truth. So, I really had a lot of difficulty at that point in my life. So then I got out of the Navy and became a journalist, radio, TV, you name it. I've pretty much been every kind of journalist you can imagine, except for a combat journalist, although that was something I always wanted to do, but I never did it. Anyway, probably best. So, I did all these things, and I would report on stuff that was happening around me, and inside of me this fire was burning about some of the realities that I saw, but I didn't really speak up, because in corporate world you have to make it look pretty and it has to have rounded edges, and I didn't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, and I wanted to play nicely in the corporate sandbox, because after all, that's how you climb the corporate ladder, right? Is you sit down and you shut up and you yes man and yes woman them to death, and that's what you do. So that was all fine and good, because on paper my life looked great. I was successful at everything I did. I wasn't like a millionaire by any stretch, but when I set my mind to do something, I got it done. So I was successful. But inside of me, though, something didn't feel quite right ever. I always felt like there was something wrong with me. There was something just not quite right. So, fast forward a little further, and I meet a guy, and, I think he's a great guy and has all this promise. And I come into the relationship and I'm guarded because I'm not speaking my truth. And of course I'm covering up myself and protecting myself with anger, because I'm afraid that if he really knows the truth about me, that he knows all these dark things from my past and how I really feel about myself and life and things. And, boy, it's really going to change that whole positive persona, that light, bubbly, always smiling, always happy Debbie that everyone always wanted on paper, right? Until I actually had something to say, and then it was, oh, no, sit down, oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, she said, oh, there's something, oh, okay, well, it's just how she is. Must just be a bad day or something. So I wasn't really allowing myself to move through life actually having an opinion, standing strong for anything. And what happened was, over time in my marriage, I stifled my voice further and further and further, because I wanted him to love me for what I thought he and other people in my life loved me for, which was such bullshit, by the way. So what happened? I got divorced. In the end, I stifled my voice, my world crumbled, I didn't recognize any of it. Even my relationship with my kids, which was the one thing I prided myself on, wasn't strong anymore. I mean, I'm always mom and I play with them. It wasn't quite the same. It wasn't what I envisioned for my life. And then one day, it changed. I stood up. I took a stand. I took a stand for me. I started believing in myself, and I looked back at that marriage and I realized that marriage is what I wanted. But the person I showed up as in it was not who I was. And so from that moment on, I decided to take some really hard actions. And I stood up and I faced rejection from a man who couldn't even look straight at me the first couple of weeks that I came back to him and said, this is what I want, I believe in this, and I will fix this marriage. And rebuild it. Actually, had to rebuild it from the ground up because it wasn't even a marriage anymore. So we rebuilt it and we worked together. And every day has had, something in it where maybe it was difficult, it was a challenge, it wasn't the way I envisioned it. But every day we grew together stronger because I stood up. I stood up for something and I stopped shutting my voice down. And so, there's a voice inside all of us, this fire. I think I'm spitting on myself, I'm so passionate. But there's this fire that needs to be expressed. There is something that we all believe in, something that motivates us, drives us, pushes us, something that needs to come out. And I really believe that, when we start understanding that standing up is the right way and that the path of least resistance is not the right way, because all it's going to do is lead you down all the things that are going to shut you so tightly down that you won't even recognize your own self. So what I'm doing, and this is pretty much my big announcement too, is I have a new company and it's called Blazing Voice, blazingvoice.com. And I ask you to please go and take a look. Right now it's just blog posts that I've been compiling, but I'm also going to start working with people one-on-one to help repair not only their relationship with themselves, but their relationship with a significant other, if that applies. And I also have, what's really awesome, is a new Facebook page called Trailblazers. Oddly enough, people who are not afraid to blaze a trail, not afraid to stand up when it's not easy, not afraid to speak their truth. And if they don't know how, guess what? This is going to be a peer group of people who support you in speaking your truth. And I'm not talking about the truth that comes from anger, because you've got your political posts for that. I'm not interested. I'm talking about speaking the real truth in your heart and what is really going to help make this world a better place, push it into the right direction, and at least, if nothing else, make you feel aligned with what your real purpose is. That's all. So I want to thank you very much. I want to let you know that more is coming, that this isn't just this one-off little somebody spouting something on a video or Facebook or whatever. But I am real with this. This has been several months in the making, and there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. Mark and I are 100% united behind this, and I would love your support too. I know some people this message will speak to, some it won't. I understand. I absolutely value you and your opinion. If you don't want to follow me, I get it. If this isn't your message, fine. Click on, no problem. But if this is your message, please take action, because we aren't guaranteed tomorrow. So let your voice be heard today. Thank you.